Once upon a time, deep in the heart of a tranquil forest, there lived a secluded tribe of frogs. They were an ordinary, unassuming lot, just minding their own business, leaping from lily pad to lily pad in their little pond. Their days were filled with the simple pleasures of life, catching flies, basking in the sun, and croaking along to the symphony of the crickets. Life was good for them. One day, however, their peaceful existence was shattered. A strange, eerie silence descended upon the forest, a silence so profound it was deafening. The birds stopped singing, the bees became still, and the rustling leaves seemed to hold their breath. Even the croaking of the frogs, normally a chorus of comforting regularity, fell silent. It was as if nature itself was holding on to a terrible secret, a secret that was about to unfold. In the midst of this unsettling calm, a lone frog, different from the rest, began to tremble. His emerald green skin, usually glistening with health, became mottled and gray. His eyes, which were usually bright and lively, dimmed with fear. He struggled to croak, but no sound came out. This was no ordinary frog. He was the keeper of the great prophecy, the last of his line. He carried within him the ancient wisdom of his tribe, the knowledge that had been passed down from one generation of frogs to the next for countless years. With a Herculean effort, he managed to push himself off the lily pad and into the murky water. He swam with all his might, his powerful legs churning the water into a frenzy as he raced towards the shore. Gasping for breath, he managed to haul himself out onto the bank and collapsed, his heart pounding against his ribs like a drum. He looked up at the sky, his eyes wide with urgency. The time had come. The prophecy was unfolding before his very eyes. With a final surge of strength, he pushed himself up and started hopping away from the lake. His journey would take him through the dense undergrowth of the Whispering Woods, across the gurgling waters of the Crystal Creek, and up the winding slopes of Mount Grimger, the highest peak in the land. But he was not alone. Following him at a distance, unseen and unknown, was a shadow, a dark, menacing presence that seemed to slither through the trees, its eyes fixed on the lone frog. As the mysterious frog made his way through the forest, the trees seemed to whisper his name, their branches reaching out to him like gnarled fingers. The very leaves of the forest seemed to be holding their breath, their rustling a hushed commentary on his desperate flight. The frog's every sense was on high alert. He could hear the pounding of his own heart in the silence of the woods. He could smell the damp earth and the sweet, cloying scent of honeysuckle. And all around him, the forest seemed to be watching, waiting. Suddenly, he felt a presence behind him, a disturbance in the stillness of the woods. He turned and saw the dark shape emerge from the trees. With a surge of adrenaline, he hopped over a fallen log, scrambling to his feet. He looked back, his eyes wide with terror as the shadow loomed over him. At that moment, a young girl, no older than 10, with hair the color of sunset and eyes full of wonder, emerged from behind a tree. She gasped, not in fear, but in surprise and delight. She had never seen a talking frog before. The frog, noticing the girl, poured out his tale of woe, his voice cracking with emotion. The girl listened, her eyes wide with understanding. When he finished, she didn't hesitate. She knew what she had to do. Though the adults in the village might scoff at the idea of a talking frog, she believed him. She helped him to cross the road, shielding him with her small body, and then led him to her house. There, in the quiet of her room, away from the prying ears of adults, she tended to the frog, her heart heavy with the weight of his sorrow. As the days passed, the frog grew stronger, his emerald green skin regaining its luster, his eyes regaining their lively sparkle. But his joy was tinged with sadness as he recounted the plight of his people, the chilling prophecy that hung over them like a dark cloud. The girl, touched by his story, didn't just sympathize, she empathized. She understood the weight of responsibility, the burden of a looming threat. Because somewhere deep in her heart, she, too, felt the echoes of an ancient calling. And so began the most extraordinary adventure, a testament to the unwavering spirit of a frog, the kindness of a child, and the enduring power of belief in the face of all odds. Together, they ventured into the heart of the Whispering Woods, ready to confront the darkness that threatened to engulf not just the frogs, but the entire world. Their journey was fraught with peril, but their bond grew stronger with each step. For in the face of adversity, they discovered that sometimes the smallest of creatures can have the biggest hearts and the youngest of heroes can possess the greatest courage. Will the frog and the young girl be able to stop the shadow that is haunting the woods? What secrets lie hidden in the Whispering Woods? And how will their journey impact the fate of not just the frogs, but the entire world? Now, my curious friends, we find ourselves at the edge of this enchanting tale. As the frog and the young girl venture deeper into the Whispering Woods, we can only wonder what adventures await them, what challenges they'll face, and what secrets they'll uncover. Will they succeed in their quest, or will the shadow prove too powerful to be defeated? But remember, dear viewers, the greatest adventures often begin with a single step, a leap of faith, or in this case, a hop. Just as the frog and the young girl are about to embark on their journey, so too are you embarking on a journey of your own, a journey through the magical realm of your imagination. Thank you for joining us today. If you've enjoyed this tale, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. And until next time, may your days be filled with a little more magic, a little more wonder, and a whole lot more frogs who speak.